Target 7 investigation revealed how officers not showing up for court hearings is allowing alleged drunk drivers to get back on the road.
It happens more than 40% of the drivers busted for DWI, and now one agency is doing something about it. Here's Darlene Melendez.
When people get arrested for DWI, they come here.
The testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
These are hearings in which it's decided if someone's driver's license is going to be taken away while they await trial.
Into that vehicle were throwing out alcohol bottles.
They can have their driver's license suspended for 6 months even before they're convicted in a court of law.
You think of it as MVD giveth, MVD taketh away, because when you sign your license, you're implying your consent to obey all laws regarding driving.
It does save lives because that way they're technically not supposed to be on the road. And if somebody has a substance abuse problem, hopefully they're getting help. And they don't repeat those same mistakes.
But a Target 7 investigation found that more than 42% of the time law enforcement officers don't show up to court, thus allowing more than 2,200 suspected drunk drivers back on the roads.
One of the things that we have to look at too is what are the causes of those missed MVD hearings?
Josh Brown is the deputy chief of the Albuquerque Police Department. Since learning that his officers didn't show up half of the time in 2022 and 2023, he's been trying to address the issue.
50% is a big number, so we went and looked back and kind of looked and to kind of analyze where those missed court notices were coming from.
Brown said APD looked at why officers were not showing up, saying in many of the cases they were double booked. The office that runs the hearings had no idea the officers were scheduled to be present in criminal court, which is a separate process.
The Metro and District Court is going to take precedence in the criminal side over the MVD hearing.
However, Brown also acknowledged there were some officers who simply didn't show up.
Those were just unacceptable, so each one of those had internal affairs investigation opened up to see why.
The issue of officers not showing up for court comes as the FBI is currently investigating several now former APD DWI officers for their possible roles in accepting payouts to not appear in criminal court hearings. These are separate hearings from the ones scheduled when drivers want to drive as they await trial.
It's a corrupt system, and that's what we're seeing unveiled with all of this.
Linda Atkinson of the DWI Resource Center has been addressing officers not showing up for court and hearings for decades.
It's a very, very dangerous message to be putting out. Nothing will happen to you. You can drive drunk.
Attorney Thomas Clear, whose home was searched, is also being investigated along with the APD officers. According to documents obtained by Target 7, the person in charge of the MVD hearing sent this email to Police Chief Harold Medina, saying he did a review of the cases and, quote, noticed a significant pattern of those identified officers failing to appear under subpoenas in cases where Tom Clear was the attorney of record, and that first blush, this is well above the traditional officer no-show rate that occurs at our hearings. Medina had responded, saying his agency was not being notified when his officers were not showing up for the hearings. But the chief hearing officers indicated they were sending them in the mail and they were not being read.
Once we did find out there was issues, those lines of communication were opened.
Yeah.
And so our job now is to fix them, make sure that they don't go back to that.
Brown said APD has set up a new system in which the hearing office has access to the officers' calendars. And if an officer misses court, a notice is sent to a special email. So is it working?
Wow. So we've got from 50 to about 10% on our missed MVD hearings.
For Target 7, I'm Darlene Melendez.
Albuquerque was not the worst when it comes to officers not showing up for hearings. Las Cruces police officers did not show up to these hearings 83% of the time, and their colleagues at the Doña Ana County Sheriff's Office failed to appear 90% of the time. Santa Fe police missed only 7% of their hearings, best in the state. If you have tips for Target 7, call the Target 7 tip line at 505-884-6347 or by email newstips@koat.com.